going to wait for 30 seconds or so before the recording will actually start. I'm always mindful that this oh hello Karen, wow, straight off the bat. Just going to wait just till 30-second mark. It's always awkward because I want to sort of get into it, but then I have to wait. Right, so we're at 30-second mark. So hello everyone, hello Wise Tribe, how are we doing? So it is Wednesday the 16th is it? Yeah, of July. How are we halfway through July already? What's going mad? It's going mad. By the way, cheers and hello. Bonjour to you all. Thank you ever so much for jumping in. Just to get the elephant out of the room, you probably haven't noticed it in the slightest, but I certainly bloody did. The last episode I did of this last week, it has disappeared. Okay, so if you're going to look through the videos and you'll notice episode 1, 2, 3, 4, there's no longer a 5, and now we go on to 6. I have no idea what's happened. There's been a lot of problems. Testing sobriety, Mounjaro UK. Hello, my darling. How you doing? How are you, Claire? You all right? YouTube has been doing weird and wonderful things. Hi, Libby. How you doing? I've had bless her, carry on regardless. She's messaged me to sort of say I've been messaging you on YouTube, and then I go and look and my message isn't there. And so I like I said, well, surely on YouTube the messaging part of it is probably the easy bit to keep an eye on. It's probably the video section that's harder. I don't know. Have you guys found problems with YouTube and messages going missing? I don't know. It's just mad. So, eating your dinner. Oh, well then here we go. Right. What dinner are you having then? Hello, Jerry. Hi. What dinner are you having? Because we're all going to score you on what you're having for dinner. So be honest. What are you having? And we'll be able to see if we all agree on what we like, what we don't like. So get your tapping away there. Just whilst everyone's here, I just want to sort of mention this as well. I'm going to sort of mention about Supriva again. So in case you don't know, I mean, yes, you can click on a link for myself and it does help the channel, but Supriva is something that I think, is really good if you're looking to add sweetness to your particular food. So it says on here, you can use it instead of sugar in like desserts, porridge, pasties and drink. So there it is, and my favorite is actually the vanilla cream now, because I always think vanilla is very underrated. I love vanilla ice cream. I love vanilla flavored things. The chocolate you can get as well. I understand people are coming in. Hi, who we got? Who's saying hi? Claire, you saying you got a gym kitchen microwave meal? Yeah, but what microwave meal is it? And TV, hello to you as well. If you do get the chocolate, just bear in mind, I like this, but you might not. It's not like your sweet chocolate. So I would picture this more as a kind of like your dark chocolate, I would say. Probably because if you have your sweet chocolate, there's so many sort of sweets. Sorry, I've just seen what Jerry said. Hello, Ryan. How you doing? This week, I'll be mostly having bourbon biscuits. Or you could have butter biscuits, Jerry. There you go. So butter biscuits. This is the one that I think smells like donuts. There we go. Yeah, so grab yourself that. There'll be a link in the description, link in the comment box. So yeah, any kind of it does help me out. And obviously you don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to. Right, we're going to test the waters here to everyone. Right, so the microwave meal that Claire had, salt and pepper chicken. That would be great for me. I love that. I absolutely love that. What does everyone else think? Would you like a salt and pepper chicken? Microwave meal, though. I don't know if I've ever seen salt and pepper chicken as a microwave meal. I bet it's still nice, though. I bet it still is. Right, so Jan, I hope you're feeling much better today. Jan, thank you. And thank you ever so much for your comment on my post about this particular live stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Madonna. Now, I am going to start off with, because I have got an agenda somehow. It's very loose, a bit like me. And the first thing I did want to just get straight off the bat is thank you so much for your support. Now, I understand that my last video, it was not my usual, shall we say. So people do tend to sometimes, come to me for the comedy side of things, and well, I say comedy, attempts at comedy. But if I'm not in the mood for it, I'm not in the mood. I'm not going to do it because I just can't force that. And I've always said from the very get-go that I wanted this channel to be authentic. Okay, so if I'm not in a great mood, I'm going to say it, because not everything is ha 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 all the time. There's going to be these moments, and unfortunately last week was just not a good week for me. And I did explain, and I'm hoping this is still all right. Anyway, it wasn't a good week. We all know why. And it was just a difficult week. But this week has been a lot better. But the most important thing is, thank you so much for all your kind words. I've read through a lot of the comments. I read through all the comments, actually. Don't know why I said a lot of them. And I'm just, I'm just bowled over by how much support I've had. So thank you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. And Karen, thank you. I hope to think that, obviously you guys feel like you can be supported by me as well. So God bless you all. You really have cheered me up. We will probably be being joined by Mrs. Chris later on. Mrs. Chris just having a bath, okay, because she spends all day in a swamp and so needs to be cleaned. And if she's heard me say that, I'm gonna get thrashed in a minute. So I think I might be safe. Right, okay. So what I want to look into is, obviously, first of all, hello Vix, I'm all right, Madonna. How are you? How are you? Are you good? Are you surviving the heat? Are you doing all right? I'm melting. I'm crying into my own meltingness. I'm going to cover how Mounjaro has been with me for this particular week so far, obviously since Sunday. Speaking of heat, I also want to cover the fact that we're in barbecue season as well, and how this is sort of playing out with you guys as well, because I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into a few things I've noticed from watching your videos that I'm sort of recognizing, sort of trends, sort of things that I'm picking up from videos, because I kind of noticed, that we kind of sync. We all seem to sync a little bit, but then I get these little unusual things pop in here, there, and everywhere, and I just wanted to have a look into that. I'm also going to go a bit more into tea time, so my my live stream where I have guests and so on. So I'm going to mention that, and let us not forget the usual Moaning Media when it comes to Mounjaro, although pleasantly surprised this week, but I'll speak about that in more detail later on. So Vic's all good. Stress at work but not eating my feelings thanks to Mounjaro. Isn't that a relief? Isn't that great? I mean, I think if there's one thing that ties a lot of us together, especially those who are in a position where they're, extremely overweight and so on, it's one of the reasons we've got there is because the food has been like a comfort, I suppose, is the best way to put it. So that, something happens, we don't know how to deal with our emotions. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll stuff my face, and I joke, but that's what I did. That's what I would do if it weren't for Mounjaro. And I seem to recognize this in a lot of other people. And I think that's just how life is. I think life is just so high paced and busy and bright lights and loud noise. And everything's 400 mile an hour. And I think, we're at an age now where we're all kind of new to this style of lifestyle. And so we kind of go to our demons, and then some people it's fags, some people it's drink, us it's food, other people it's recreational, shall we say. But everyone seems to have got something which is there. Do you know what? This is just going to help me out, okay? And yeah, so Vic says, honestly, you're spot on. Food has always been my drug of choice. And I consider it a drug, because anything that you're doing for the sole purpose of releasing endorphins to make you feel better, that's kind of a drug. Because otherwise, food should just be for, I need food to survive. If I'm just eating food for the sake of it or making it so I feel better, it's a drug. Okay? What about you guys, though? I mean, for those of you here who are here because you recognise that you've been on this journey because you've been struggling with food, because you always go for it for emotional reasons. What sort of food would you have gone to? Because I think this kind of splits between sweet and savoury. Now mine, I would have said probably for the longest of while it would have been sweet. But I think for the last however many years, it very much went to savoury. So then it was your crisps and like sandwiches and stuff like that. I'll make myself a sandwich or something like that. What was it been for you when you was in that kind of the stress? I need something. I need something. What was yours? Because I know people are chocoholics and stuff like that. What was yours? Just let me know in the comments, because I'm just interested just to see what was the thing that used to call to you. Because yeah, sort of crisps and sandwiches and that sort of thing were mine. So yeah. But how have I been getting on this week? So as you well know, the video that I had on Sunday was a little bit different from the usual. So I hadn't had a good week. But as it then turned out, I'd had a very good week weigh-in wise. Which, to be fair, I was very surprised. Someone did make a comment though, which I thought was very, very surprising, and something I hadn't thought about. And I so wish I remember who it was. And if it's one of you, I apologise, but my brain's like a sieve. Where someone said maybe it was the depression or whatever it is you was in last week that was making you think that you didn't have a good week food wise. And I thought to myself, probably, because at the end of the day, if I think back, maybe I didn't really eat that bad. Well, I couldn't have been too bad because I lost 4.5 pounds. Oh, I'm seeing lots of nice food coming up here. What we got? Libby says, "Oh, love all the carbs, crisps, and bread, chips." Carbs. Jan says, "Chocolate cake and crisps." Oh, chocolate cake. Chocolate cake. Kay says, "Biscuits, cakes, anything sweet." Oh, so you was very much of the sweet side of things. So I wonder if it's sugar. I wonder if it's sugar's the thing that the body goes, I need sugar to get over this stress. I'm sorry if this camera's wobbling. It's on a stand. Vic says, "Anything and everything, lots of savoury." And then I was always that person that was like, I need something sweet now, and would easily eat a share bar of chocolate. Yeah, we don't do share bars. That's just that's just like a normal sized bar, but 2 of them. You know, there is no share. If you touch this, I'm going to kill you. So no, I can actually understand with that. Lee, toast, cheese, and chocolate. Hopefully not all the same time. That would be a bit weird. But toast, yeah, I get it. What I used to do, if I was like, oh, I want something really nice, I used to do basically like ham and cheese toasties, and for that for me was like, oh yeah, no, it's just helped me out. But it didn't help me out because look what it did. Okay, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Karen, definitely savoury. Would just make sandwiches for the sake of it. Mi casa su casa. See, you know, we've got a kindness there. You know, Bourbon biscuits, says Jerry Willen. Yeah, I don't continuously eating Bourbon biscuits. Karen says carbs, and then Vic says, "Oh, well done, you lost. Thank you ever so much." It, like I said, wasn't expected. I kind of noticed that one week I'll do a big drop, then the next week I will do a little drop, then the next week another big one. So I think it kind of balances out. So this week, we'll see. I have been a bit more active though, so we will see if that's played a part in anything. But this week, in terms of how I've been on Mounjaro, better. Last week, when I was not myself, I was hungry. I will admit, I was hungry. And I was then starting to think to myself, maybe this is wearing off a little bit. Maybe I need to go onto the higher dose. Hi, Tilly. How you doing? Good to have you here. Hi. But this week it's gone again. So the suppression has kicked in again this week. I haven't really felt hungry. It's kind of gone back to how it was. So maybe just where my mind wasn't where it was last week, I was just like whatever. But this week, no, I'm much better on it. Side effects, not really. Still the dreaded C word, but I take a combination of magnesium citrate and these like fiber gummies. They're by WellGuard. I kind of alternate between the two, and so maybe every 2 days I will go, maybe 3, but that's pushing it. But other than that, no, I've not had any nausea. I've not had I don't get the sulfur burps that everyone tells me about. Doesn't mean I won't at some point. But no, that's been about it. So still very pleased that that I'm doing it. So how has everyone been with their own journey this week? Anything new that's come up? Any new symptoms? Or I know one of you have, because I'm going to be mentioning it later on. But anything new that you found you went, oh, this is new. I've not had that before. But for me, been very fortunate indeed. Right, so barbecue season. Ooh, barbecue season. Right, so we've had the heat. We're having the heat, should I say, as well. We're in the midst of summer. And whilst, you know, a lot of people will talk about, what about Christmas? Jan, I'm on 5 milligrams. I've been on 5 milligrams for a month and a half. But it's okay now. I'm fine. I should be all right. So my next one would be 7.5 if I were to go up. People go on about Christmas, because I'm still thinking in the future about, okay, how is this all going to work when Christmas comes around, when you've got family, food, celebrations, this, that, and the other. But then I thought about it, and I was like, well, you've got summer. And what does everyone seem to do in summer is have barbecues. And I have heard some of you sort of saying that you've had to attend barbecues and it's been a little bit awkward and so on. So you guys who are joining me, or you guys who are watching this later on, how are you finding it? Have you had to go to one? How did you get on with with? Oh, I tell you what though. When I was, if you want to go back to the video, if you haven't seen it, right, my video where I was on a fast for 3 days and I could only have water. On the 3rd day, right, out of the kindness of my heart, I attended a barbecue with Mrs. Chris for a venue that she works for or works with. And I thought, I'll be all right. It'll just be usual sort of burgers and whatnot. Oh, this. Do you know what? The one time where I'm not having anything, I couldn't have anything, were these the most amazing, majestic looking burgers and other stuff and all that. And there's me going, and I couldn't even eat a thing. So I was on a fast. So I couldn't even like have a little bit or anything like that. But I would have struggled to have just had a little bit with just being there, because this was just amazing food. So how are you dealing with barbecues? Are you planning one? If you're going to be doing one, are you doing your own kind of thing? Have you got like your own plan of, well, everyone's going to have that, I'll have this, and then everyone will be saying to me, is that all you're going to eat? But what are you going to do? So here we go. So Karen, not awkward at all. Plenty of meat and salad, plus a bottle of wine. We knew how to get the alcohol in there, Karen, and we knew that. We knew we had to get that in there. So bottle of wine, yeah. Then I might move on to the meat and so on. I think it probably depends on what everyone else is like. I would imagine if you're in an environment where everyone understands that you're on this, that it could be a little bit awkward if they try to push it and they're like, oh, actually, no, if you just want that, we'll have this and we'll have that. That's fine. But I do know from watching one of the videos of my subscribers that she went to a family barbecue, and they are very much like, they cook like enough for an army, and it's been like, why are you not eating? Have it, eat. And I just wondered if anybody else has gone there. I've yet to go to one other than said I can't eat anything barbecue, but I think it's the smell. I think it's the smell of it. Oh, hello, madam.
Hello.
Did you have a nice bath?
I did, thank you.
Good, I am glad.
Yes, I did, thank you.
Did you wash all of the swamp water off?
I did, yes.
Good.
Thank you.
Yes.
I did. I will join you shortly.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, because everyone would like to know how
Has
you've
anyone
been.
actually been asking for Mrs. Chris?
I have.
You have?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I told them all that you were washing off. You've been in the swamp all day.
Yeah,
so
I have.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're joining us later, are you?
Yeah, I will do.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. So tell me. Libby says hi, Ellie.
Hi.
Hi. So yeah. Right. So it kind of then goes on to what I was going to talk about as well, which was what I'm noticing in terms of the world of Mounjaro with you guys. Okay, not necessarily potentially you. Where's the camera? You, right? But things that I've noticed. Before I start, so Panda Poo Blanchard. I love that name. I went to a barbecue and have clearly learnt nothing from Mumps and Mounjaro. I hoovered up everything just shy of people noticing what a pig I was. Do you know what? That reminds me of not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, when I was just like that, and I suffered all night. It wasn't barbecue, but I'd suffered all night, and I laid there, and I must have had about 2 hours sleep because I felt like I was about to give birth, and it just laid like a lump in my stomach. Jan Chivers says, "Hi Ellie, swamp water is good for the skin."
Yeah, it is. And also, I need to tell everyone about my business.
Oh, you will do, yes.
Yes.
But I'm going to let you carry on with what you're doing.
Well, I'm actually doing something towards the business at the minute, so I will advertise it shortly.
Oh. She's currently sort of trimming the hairs on her toes at the minute. She's not. I'm gonna get a smack in a minute. She's not. So things that I've noticed, and it's a little bit interesting. With the heat, I've noticed more people are struggling to lose weight, and I think this is something that I think has shocked people. But I've always been like, it is, because if you think about it, okay, and we're going to take away the fact that we're all modern day people and this, that, and the other. We are all but animals still. We're all still biologically animals.
Silverbacks.
Yeah, silverbacks, especially me. Now, in times of heat, there used to be less water that was about. So therefore, much like a camel, if you want to think of it that way, we would hold on to the water longer so that we have more availability to be able to replenish the body with water, and so therefore we don't need to get fluids. Well, it happens now. It's just that we happen to have jobs and we have cars and stuff like that, and so the body's going to hold on to it much more. So the hotter it is, the more your body's like, no, keep an hold of it, no. And so that is why then when it cools down, I guarantee you everyone's going to have like a big loss, because it could be like, bodies could be like, and let it go, and then everyone's gonna be like, I've lost 15 stone in a week. But yeah, I've noticed that there were quite a few people that were like, they've either stayed the same, or they've put on a little bit, or they didn't lose as much as they wanted. How do you guys get on with the heat now? What about us?
Well, it's weird because I've actually lost more weight during the heat.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been losing more. Like, as in more frequently.
Well, maybe your body's different to the rest of ours then. During that swamp water,
I know.
keeping you cool.
Yeah.
So how are you guys getting on with the heat? I mean, I don't like it. I really don't like
Hate it. I know Libby doesn't like it, especially.
Libby doesn't like it. Libby's very much against the heat. So
absolutely despises it.
Despises it. I've also seen a few people, and this has been quite interesting, a few people that have been saying, I used to do the golden dose. Before I talk about that, Jerry Willens sweat like a pig. So pigs have been mentioned twice now during the course of this, so that's what was good. People do the golden dose. I don't do the golden dose. And the reason for that is I'm a bit of a stickler to the rules. So you're supposed to use the pen 4 times, and I know people are getting like diabetic needle syringes and they're sort of getting it out. And because to be fair, I do understand it, because when you do see the amount of the drug that's left and you're supposed to chuck it away, it's about that much left, and you think, well, I've paid for that, and then we're chucking it away. But I'm kind of a stickler to the rules, so I do reluctantly sort of chuck it away. But I know a lot of people use the golden dose, and that's what they call it. So it's the 5th dose, if you will. But I've noticed a couple of people have been like, I don't want to do it anymore. And I don't really know why, but they've sort of gone against it. I want to sort of, I just want to just do as it is now and so on. And then, I don't know, it's just weird. It just seems a little bit of a, like, I've had 2 or 3 that I've watched that have been like that. And I'm like, has something happened that I've missed?
What the hell?
Right, so someone's just come past with a sombrero on. As you do. Right.
Anyways,
I swear
hi
to God.
everyone.
Oh God.
So I am a hair and makeup artist. These
hang on.
Dirty brushes,
Right.
and I look after brides doing their hair and makeup. So just thought I'd change the
If
subject
you caught
as well.
that, and it was in English, then well, good luck for you. Wow, that was an explosive amount of energy.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to step aside for 1 second?
No, it's fine. Just sort of.
What's the announcement?
Just shout out.
You've got to do an announcement.
No, it's a shout out. It's just a shout out to everyone, to all your fans.
Vic says hello.
Who's Vic?
Vix.
Oh, Vix. Oh, hi, Vic. Sorry, I thought I called you Vic, as in like Vic that you.
Like Vic
Raver.
Raver.
Yeah, Vic. Yeah. You rub in.
Karen says, I use the 5th dose and I'm prescribed it, just don't like waste. It's fair enough, absolutely. Joe says, hi Joe, is this for the neighbour's house? No.
No, these are the other weirdos that live further down.
Yeah. I'd only want it to go to the neighbour's house if it had some kind of explosive device in it. But by the by. So that was what I've noticed with a few other people. What else did I notice? Random side effects, and this is where Claire comes in. So Claire, if you're still there, you'll be like, oh, I know this is me. So one of the new effects, well, though we can't confirm, can we, Claire, that it's actually to do with Mounjaro, but suddenly being easily bruised, that seems to be come out as well. Now, for me, when I have my injections, I've got a little bruise.
You bruise like a plum.
I bruise like a plum, yes. I more often than not have bruises where I do the injection site, and obviously I round the outside of my belly button. So by the time I come round again, the bruise would have gone. But Claire was talking about how she's noticed that with even just things that she wouldn't normally bruise with, she now is. And so obviously then begs the question of, is this to do with Mounjaro? Is this something else? Is she just beating herself up? Or, but that seems to be something else. Have you guys had any kind of new symptoms? Have you had any new symptoms?
No.
Have you had any symptoms?
Not really. No, I'm just immune to...
Are you even taking it? Are you just looking at it you're doing very well. So, so Joe says, oh, I've heard this 3 times this week. Someone mentioned make sure never to rub your injection site afterwards.
Oh.
Okay.
Interesting.
I wonder why.
No.
Do you know why? Do we know why we're not rubbing the injection site afterwards? But I've always had it. And for whatever reason, and I've mentioned this before, obviously I'll do two injections down one side of my belly button and 2 the other side. One side absolutely fine, but when I then get round to do the injection sites, the other 2 sides, they hurt and they also bleed. But if I do it this side of my belly button, fine. So whether I've just got a big patch of bloody blood vessels, just one side of it, and this side is just dead, nobody knows.
Pulse.
Yeah, no pulse this side, But yeah, just random. So I don't know about it. I'm just weird. Right, I'm going to have a bit of a call out for you. Lee says week 12 and no side effects. Suddenly burps, not sulfur, luckily. So you've got been a bit more windy, have you, Lee? You've been a bit more gas. Yeah, I've not had these sulfur burps, but then as I've been told, they can appear way down the line. Just because you haven't got something now doesn't mean you're not going to get it later on. So, God. But one thing I will be saying that I'm very pleased about is that I have not had any more, except for those 2 days, 1 or 2 days, I've not had any more nausea. Because, as Ellie will know, there's one thing I hate is nausea.
Nausea.
Yeah, I would rather be sick than feel sick. Okay, and I've not had it again for touch wood. Oh God, there we go. By the way, what do you think of this?
Oh, it's majestic.
Why is it not turning on?
It's
there we
battery.
go. Oh. I love these things. Can you hear that? Oh, no, it's not a sex toy or anything like that. No, I did try, it didn't work, it just hurt. So, yeah, this is for the old, oh God, yeah. Because, yeah, it does help out because with the arthritis and stuff like that, my muscles do sort of tense up like that, and so it just releases them. But you've had a bit of a problem with your shoulders recently.
Shoulders have been very sore today.
Very sore indeed.
Yeah. Can you show everyone my business card?
You can show everyone your business
This
card.
is my business card.
It will
everyone.
be back to front.
I know it will, but if you can read, basically, Mother Chris said that you need to advertise my business on here. So I'm a hair and makeup artist, and if you are looking into hair and makeup and everything, I can sort your needs, fulfill your needs.
You're going to find her on telly with advertising like that.
These are all my brushes that I've just had to clean, so that's been fun. It's part of my behind the scenes and everything like that. I have been on TV.
She has been on TV. You was on ITV.
Yeah.
X.
Yeah, I was.
You're on a program called
Date My Nan.
Date My Nan. Date My Nan. Yeah, and you was on that as well because you had to do the makeup because it was these single elderly sort of people who were having basically blind dates with each other, and you had to get this. She was ever so nice, wasn't she? Kitty. Because
I do have a nan, but she don't live here, but she's very frail. She wouldn't be up for it. So
that was a really good experience, and so basically Ellie she runs her own business. She runs her own business. And then I think this is the thing, and this thing is that I really want to sort of emphasise here. And I mentioned in the last video I did, Ellie has autism. Okay, and at the end of the day, for you to have what you have and still be able to start, run, and be successful with your own business, I couldn't do it. Jerry Williams says hi, Ellie.
Oh hi, Daddy Chris.
There we go. Yeah.
That's it.
Vic says, how cool are you, Ellie?
Oh, thank you.
She's not so much, well, especially now she's got rid of the swamp water.
I know.
Yeah. Whoa. Hi, guys. Hi, Sandra. You right, Chuck? How you doing? Vic says, I'm a manager in Ann Summers. And I was like, ooh, what's that? Well, you see.
Wow.
You see. This is the new invention, okay? Now, you don't need all your little bullets or anything like that. You know, it's, if it's for those hard to reach places that you want to just get going, you know, and it's wobbling even with me holding it, so.
That looks really disturbing.
Does it go in? Oh, it does.
It does.
Oh.
It comes out.
In, out, in, out, in, out. Right, I'm going to put it down.
That is disturbing.
That is disturbing.
I'm pretty sure I saw you in Vogue, Ellie. Yes, my work was in Vogue last year.
Yes, you were in Vogue, weren't you?
I was,
Yeah.
I got into Vogue last year.
Well, if anyone wanted to look, where would they be able to find you?
Instagram.
Under what?
Ellie Norman Bridal. Literally my name, but then bridal.
Ellie Norman Bridal.
All
and then
one
your
word.
website is?
EllieNormanBridal.com.
EllieNormanBridal.com.
So you can find me all over the world.
There we go. See, now we definitely need a Q&A with Mrs. Chris. Naomi. Right. Right. We've bought you this, Naomi, right?
Especially for you.
Because we heard that you might have been feeling a little bit down, so we got something to cheer you up. Okay. The more you described the device, the more you made it sound like, because it is a sex toy. It's not, but it's actually. It's a, I don't know, I'll be back to front on it. Massage hammer, right? And you don't really want the word hammer in any kind of sex toy, really. So yeah, so this is going to cheer you up, Naomi. All right. So you know, we had heard through the grapevine, you know, feeling a bit run down and whatnot. This is going to perk you right up that. Okay. So this has come through the mail for you. Okay. So you can sit there and go in, out, in, out. Joe's getting excited. Right, so this is now going to be a call out for people, okay? And if it might not be for you, but it might be somebody that you know. I'm currently in the process of talking to a couple of people. It's kind of slowing down a little bit and a little bit hit and miss with communication. But I am looking for my next guest for the tea time.
Me.
You. Everything's about you. Have you? Oh wait a minute. Well, I heard. Hi, Chris. You could do yourself an injury with that. I hope you're well. Well done on your weight loss. I have done an injury with myself on that. Vic, never do it again.
Vic, straight away. Ellie, there you go.
Ellie is the next one. No,
yeah, I am. I should be.
Naomi, many hours of fun. Oh, yes. Or minutes, depending on what you like. So I am looking for more guests for the tea time chat. So where I'm having, if you haven't seen these before, I know, look, Joe, look, come on. This is suddenly turning it all into you, okay? Why not Ellie? She'd be perfect. I am going to have her on there, but I also want other people on there as well.
What about Peggy?
I'm not having
I'm
not having our cats on there. I'm not doing a whole live stream of just the cats. That would be what you would want. That's not what I want.
Yeah.
But if you want to be on the Tea Time podcast, or if you know somebody who would probably be up for that, then just let me know. Oh my God, why have I done this? Why have I mentioned this? I've just buried myself into a bloody hole here. Okay, fine. I will do a tea time with Ellie. But if anyone else, other than her, other than Swamp Water here, wants to be able to go on, then please let me know. As I said, I am in communication with a couple of people. It's been a bit, not so sure. But if anyone thinks of anyone, or if you would like to yourself, then let me know. Okay, and we can get something booked in. As you would have probably seen from my previous ones, it's not that bad. It's quite laid back. Karen, you're there. Joe, you're there. You're both here. You know how it's been. It was absolutely fine. Okay,
terrifying.
So I'm terrifying. Yes, for me. So yeah. So if you let me know, then so on. So Joe. Oh dear. Naomi and Sandra. Right. Okay. Joe has just thrown you under the bus there, Naomi and Sandra. Yeah. The gauntlet is out. The gauntlet is out to you guys. If you want to be on it, then absolutely fine. You know, let me know, and we will get something booked in. And this one, apparently.
Oh, I can't.
No, you can't.
Can't reach.
It's worrying, these things. Right, now it's time.
Oh, what are we going on to next?
The Moaning Media. There we go. It has been, and I will say, sorry, a little bit of refreshment.
Beverage.
Bit of beverage. It has been a lot better this week. I've been very surprised. Very surprised. No, I didn't find nothing. I did find stuff. But I also want to say that I found some good ones.
For a change.
For a change. Some good things. And things actually that I think is quite important. And one that came out today, and it wasn't like a media report. Pick Sojo Part 2. Sojo. One of these things that have come out today, which is brilliant, and I'm going to get onto this, okay? So the Moaning Media, okay? So The Guardian, surprise, surprise. Apparently there's a trend. We're now at trends now, people. There's a trend from the US to the UK of microdosing. Okay, now I know some of you are actively doing this, and I know that some of you are thinking about it. So for people maybe like yourself, Ellie, where you don't know what that is, that's where you're using less than what you're supposed to be doing, or if you're using the amount, you're using the amount you should, but you're spreading it out over. So you're like using half of it at a time. Okay. Now apparently no. Oh, sorry, split. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. The voice of science. I'm sorry. Did I say that the wrong way around? Yeah, no. Because using, people apparently using this, and they're following an American trend on this, just to lose a few pounds. Okay. Because apparently if you're microdosing, it just takes off some of the hunger, but you've not got the full-blown hunger suppression, okay? So they were going in and there was doctors saying, well, we don't know if this is a good idea, you're not following our what we've suggested and so on. And it was quite a lengthy bloody article, and it went on and on and on. And as per usual, it was a lot of stuff of nothing, really. And it also talked about, in the same article, even though it wasn't really related, about hundreds, and they've made a big thing about hundreds of people have reported pancreas. I can't even read my writing. Pancreas-linked problems. Okay, but this isn't a new thing. And in all fairness, from what I'm kind of gathering, is that if you're ending up with pancreas-linked problems, chances are you might have already had something wrong with your pancreas anyway. So if anything, it's probably just highlighting that there was some underlying condition there as well. So, so the Guardian, if anything, kind of pointing out the obvious. But we cannot have the Moaning Media without that highbrow, top of the range piece of journalism that is the Sun. Okay, so the Sun, last time the Sun, one of the bad things about Mounjaro is because some woman basically nearly shit herself in a corner shop and driving home. Well, they've continued, because we have now got Laura, who is, and I quote, a brunette beauty, according to the Sun, has lost 5 stone in 13 months, but her stomach became a bottomless pit after stopping for 2 weeks. Well, now, see, the thing is, right, and it keeps getting brought up. Well, when I came off Mounjaro, I found I was really hungry. Right. When you're on Mounjaro, you're supposed to be changing your eating habits anyway. You're supposed to not just be eating less, but you're supposed to be eating healthier and so on. So that were you to suddenly stop Mounjaro, you are now in a position where actually, do you know what? Instead of where I was going to be eating all these horrible, bad for you kind of things, you're now eating healthier things. Funny that, if you come off Mounjaro and start stuffing your face with pizza again, I wonder what's going to happen. But no, Laura, this brunette beauty, yes, well done for losing your 5 stone in 13 months. Well done. But for some reason, you felt the Sun was the place to go because you stopped using it and then you ate your own body weight in lard. So yes, so that was the Sun. Joe, microdosing is supposed to be great for menopausal women, not necessarily for weight loss, to support balancing their menopausal symptoms. And me with my menopausal symptoms. And Karen says, don't get me started on pancreatitis. Oh, touchy subject. Right. And of course, not to be outdone. Oh, name it. I'm off now as I have a drink to have by the beach. I will eat my... Oh, she's having a drink. What drink are you going to have? I hope it's not something a bit too bad for you. Right. Water. Yeah, seawater. There we go. Right. So, slippery nipple. That could be one that you can have.
I'm not good with these.
Oh no. What else we got? Oh God. Mad screaming orgasm. That's another one. You can have one of them. Sex on the beach. You can have that. What else we got, folks? Other horrendous sounding ones. There we go. Lad Bible. The home of journalism. Okay. One user has said that they have had quite different side effects from Mounjaro. They reported that their stomach felt like the same as it does when they've had magic mushrooms. Okay. Talk about incriminating yourself on the media. So, no, I felt like I was hallucinating when I first started taking Mounjaro. It might have been the other things you were probably taking at the same time as well. But Ellie, we've got positives.
Go on.
We had positive media coverage. Can you believe this, Ellie? Positive media outlets. Right, brace yourself. Hold on to something. Right. And even what made it even more amazing, the Daily Mail, who's usually the you're all gonna die. Okay.
Fall off my chair.
Yeah. Scientific research, and this is the one that came out today. Okay, this is the news, and I think it's really good and it's important. And I know I cover this all up with laughing and jokes and whatnot, but this is actually brilliant. Okay, and I doubt you've probably seen this. So this came out in the Daily Mail, but also came out in scientific papers as well. So scientific research has found a link between Mounjaro and slashing the risk of breast cancer as well.
Oh wow.
So apparently this was an American study, and to be fair, as we always know, when they do their trials, it's not with humans, unfortunately, it's with poor little mice. But they have found that it significantly slows down the growth of breast tumours, and they have also noticed that it has been known to shrink tumours as well. So bearing in mind this is a medication that's for diabetes, then it's a medication for diabetes and weight loss. Now it's a medication for diabetes, weight loss, and potentially reducing breast cancer. It's also been linked with reducing the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and kidney disease as well, which
wow,
amazing, really. And I thought that was really important to mention, because as much as I go on about the Moaning Media, it was good that they actually, do you know what, they went out and mentioned that. Because if they're going to find that this helps with other stuff, then brilliant, you know, because at the end of the day, breast cancer has affected so many people, and if they've now got something else that could help with that, I mean, I know they've got a long way to go, but you know, more power to them. So, and the Northern Echo, Mounjaro linked to lower dementia risk as well. There was some study that was carried out for that, and they gave the percentages, and unfortunately I wish I'd bloody written them down, but I didn't. But basically in a sort of test subject that they did, it's reduced it by a percentage as well. It said it didn't have any effect on Parkinson's, but it did with dementia. So I mean, how many people now we know that's been affected by it, or is currently affected by it? So anything that they can do to help out that.
Yeah.
You're going to give me bloody dementia.
Why am I going to give you dementia?
I swear you are.
No, there'll be the cats.
The cats will give me dementia, and you'll be giving it to me as well. Karen says a lot of cancers are hormone driven, so it makes sense. Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, even if they combine it with something else, you know, sort of, so hit it from two fronts, you know, and it's good news for a lot of people, you know. So yeah, so that was your Moaning Media, and not so Moaning Media, very unusual. So come on, folks, if you can just post into your comments there how you have been doing this week with your own journeys, Mounjaro or not. Yeah, go and find out. How have you been this week?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nearly at the tombstone mark.
You're nearly at the tombstone mark. Not tombstone, tombstone mark. Yeah. So what was it? It was, how many have you lost?
Oh, hang on. I think it was £24.
£24, yeah. So you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm
You're
getting there.
She's doing so well, bless her. And she doesn't have her own channel or videos or anything like that, but you know, we still encourage her. She's doing brilliant, bless her. Aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, that's right. So well done, Ellie, says Joe. There we go.
Thank you, Joe.
How's Miss Mary, by the way? Is she right? She's still got the collar on and so on like that. Stop over grooming herself. Just to let you know as well, this Sunday it will be going back to normal, because I've already recorded my video today. It's already in the editing process, and so we'll be going back to my usual type of videos this Sunday. So do brace yourself for the next one, okay? But yeah, and then all I need to do is obviously on Sunday just do the next weigh in, add it to it, and then it's all good to go. Small gain for yourself, Karen. Yeah, you were fine, but as I said to you, as I still said to you, Karen, you've been doing your weights, stuff like that, and we know muscle weighs more than fat. So if you're doing your deadlifts and stuff like that, that's gonna add to it. So that could be to do with that anyways. So I think, you know, you're doing brilliant anyway, Karen. And Joe, she's still grooming.
She's still grooming. Oh.
You need something to distract her, really, don't you, to sort of stop. What can she get, the cat, to stop it?
I don't know. I know you can get these antihistamines, I think, for cats that are overgrown. Or
just shave her, to be honest. Just, you know, get the old trimmers out, you know, and then, yeah, I mean, nothing to groom then. So, Wilma Hurst, Wilma Ward Hurst, £20 loss, taken 7-point jab this morning. Week number 9, no side effects, suppression is high, no cravings so far. I mean, that's brilliant. £20. I mean, Christ, if you was to just see what £20 looks like. I know Carry On Regardless has got videos, bless her, of what a pound of fat looks like, what 2 pounds of fat looks like. And it's mad when you see it, because you just think it's just numbers in your head, but then when you actually see what that looks like, it does put a new perspective on it. So I imagine if you was to just see what this £20 looks like and think, I was carrying that around with me. I mean, that's amazing. You're doing brilliant. 7.5 jab. So if you still got no side effects with that, with the 7.5, that's brilliant. So So Joe's sleep and slim down journey. I think shaving might be the option, Chris. Yeah, straight up the Panda Poo Blanchard. I love your name. Medication for cats and dogs with obsessive behaviour called comical. I had to ask the vet, but then he prescribed it. Well, there you go, Joe. There you go. Maybe it might be something there. Lee, 41 pounds lost, week 12. Just taken first 10 jab. Wow. Bloody hell, you're going up the limb. Lee, was it a case of you went up because you felt you had to, or was it because you were starting to get the hunger back? So I'm just interested in that. Panda Poo Blanchard is called Clomicon. There we go. See, look, we've got vet advice now going on. We're helping each other with our problems with our pets. Do you have an issue with your dog or your cat or your pet panda? We can just help each other out in here. So there we go. So there we go. Next time I see Miss Mary, she's just gonna be sat there like just spaced out. So I just don't want to lick myself. It'll be like Mounjaro, but for like she won't get the urge to groom herself. That grooming noise will be gone from her head. She'll be all right. So right. It's a sedative. Yeah. Well, I thought it might be a sedative, to be honest. Lee just went up as advised. Bit of a stickler for following rules. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. If they've sort of told you to sort of go up, that's fair enough. Have you kind of noted, I'm sorry, Lee, if I'm sort of bombarding you with questions, but have you found that it's been different with the different dosages you've taken? Has 10, I mean, I would imagine, I'm on 5, so I've got to think, right, so that would be double what I'm on now. That would probably, to me, feel like that's really intense. But did you sort of notice much difference between the dosages? I'm just, just interested. I'm nosy, really. I'm a nosy bastard, to be honest. I just wanted to find out. So the rest of this week, I have obviously got work. This weekend, I have got my beautiful daughters over, so I'll be looking after them this weekend, and they will also be helping me out with some bits and pieces as well. So we'll have to stay tuned for that as well. Tilly Hawthorne, I don't like brunch. No, I don't really have that. Tic Tac Head. Thank you, Davey. Thank you ever so much. Still bigger than your cock, though. So yeah, absolutely. So just make sure that you're still carrying on with your journeys. Good old big pharmacy pushing higher doses. Could be what it is. So yeah, so fantastic. Everyone, hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Okay, and with the greatest respect, let's keep it on. Let's keep going. And let's endure the heat. And I will be seeing you all very soon. And absolutely brilliant. Thank you ever so much. Ta-ra. I keep wanting to play the video now. Sort of, wise Mounjaro. Sorry, Jan, he was starving and hungry on 7.5. Okay, that's fine. Listen, I will stop the recording now. And also, just to let you know, it's going to take a little while for it to process. So there we go. Brilliant. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.